Hello, welcome back. This is Angel Miles here, and this is the continuation, part two of the ore processing unit. So here we are. Sorry for finishing the video before so abruptly, but I didn't want it to just. I was thinking this is so much. This is gonna be a lot of just wondering how this thing is gonna work. So before that, or instead of doing that to you guys, I'd rather just build the whole thing and then just show you guys how it's working, and then I can just show you how I can set it up a little bit, and so you guys can check it out. So it's pretty much done already, so let's check this out. Alright, so as you guys saw in the previous video, I have these modular sockets over here with some grinders, and the grinders are set up to receive some ores. I think this one, yeah, it's just set up to generate. So I can set up many ores, up to 9 ores into a single chest. I just have a separate like that because I know I have a bunch. Now I went ahead and grabbed all the ores that I had on the top of next to the bed, and I just placed it in the system like this. And as you can see, I do have nether ores, and I have normal ores, and ores that they cannot get quadrupled, like this nether emerald and this uranium ore. But a lot of them can, so we will basically work with them as we go through this. So one by one, we'll set it up in here. Now I did all the yellorium ones, and here you go. So yellorium, you see I don't have any yellorium thing here, and that's pretty cool. So or so any yellorium that I put into the system is just gonna get immediately processed because that's the only one that I actually set up. So it's down here, it will fall into this chest, it will get pulled out into this grinder. From the grinder it will be pulled into here, which has a provider logistics pipe. It means that it's not gonna suck up the items from here unless there's a space to put it inside an inventory. So it will try to pull it out, and it will try to put it into here. Now over here I have a logistics chassis Mark IV, which has 4 active supplier modules, and obviously each one of them can carry 9 ore items in here. So I'm putting this ground yellorium ore in here as an infinite source, so all of it will just try to fall into this chest. Now this chest over here gets extracted with this. There's an extractor there, and this gets just placed into this modular socket. Now this modular socket is a mixer, and it's extracting from the top, which is this the quicklime, and it's just putting it into the second inventory, as you can see on the blue there, on this blue. And this one is extracting from this side, or actually receiving items from this side and putting into the first inventory, is trying to mix. Now the output of this would go into this right here, would get extra output into this with a machine output, and it will be placed into this modular socket, which will receive it from the left side over here, from this side, and it will place it into this chest over here. So you see it actually fit pretty well in here. These ones are just receiving the quicklime and passing it through this into this barrel. So these obsidian chests basically just filling up this barrel. This barrel is going into this, and this one falls from here all the way to here. Now over here we have another provider logistics pipes, which will give us the result of the mixer. And this one, this provider logistics pipes, basically will connect to the system, and it will let the system know if we have something here. Now this is what we get out of the mixer, and pure yellorium dust. Now as you can see, some of them is disappearing from here, which is pretty cool because I'm using this centrifuge. So I'm using this centrifuge, getting this impure yellorium dust, as you can see, is getting there, getting into here and falling into this chest. And what falls into this chest is actually the normal dust that you can actually just cook. And as you can see, it falls out. It's again another provider, which will just send items to the system if needed. And you can see they fall into this over here because this is set up to put yellorium dust as an infinite source, so it will keep on falling in here. As soon as it falls in here, as you can see, it's a lot, and this probably has a stack inside of it. and we can probably see it like this with this right here. Yeah, it has a stack over here that is working, and then this is the output, and the output will immediately push it out. So there's no there's no need to put an output. Well, I didn't need to put that, but I just wanted to show you guys how it actually has a stack in there, and all of them would actually be working. This has another stack inside there. So this one, the output will be placed into this ender chest with the black 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 combination. Now what's this all about? Well, a lot of the items, especially, well, a lot of the ores that I'm gonna be quadrupling in here, I do not need them on the inventory. I do not need them over there in my, what is this thing called? I do not need them to come into this system because I can just put over here, just like I have, where is it at? You see, I have lapis, I have coal, I have diamonds, and around there I have where is it at? I have copper, right? There you go. I have copper ingots and stuff like that. So I don't need anything from the system back there to give me items that have EMC that I can just put into the big over there. So what I'm doing here is I'm sending it into this black ender chest like that, and it gets pulled out immediately somehow, because in this corner I have a little special setup in here. I have this ender chest that receives items, get pulled out through here, get pushed into this energy condensers, which, as you can see, it doesn't have any energy connectors, it's just by itself. And it's basically just making these red matter furnaces, which they're gonna take forever to make, but as you can see, the yellorium ingots actually falls into this thing. So if you wait a little bit, maybe just like this, and you see it just blink one right there. So they will fall into here, and it eventually will start filling up this thing, and it will just create a red matter furnace, which on its time will get pulled out with this modular socket and push into, voila, the red matter furnace chest that we had work in the other episode, the 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 stupid fast EMC generator. So yeah, that will be a way basically just to quadruple the ores, put them into this chest, and just get all the EMC out, and this is how it's done. Now let's try to do a little setup in here. Let's go ahead and grab one of the ores that are here, and let's say the gold ore, and that'll be a simple one. Let's grab just one. That's all we need to start working on this thing. So I'm gonna grab one of this yellorium ore, and this is not the, this is the one. There we go. So what am I gonna do with this? Alright, so this one is set up to receive the yellorite, I'm sorry. And this one, I'm gonna set it up for gold, just like that. As soon as I do that, all the gold from the system would actually start falling into here. And I know it's coming somewhere. It will start coming through here. Oh, there we go. And yeah, everything got inside of there. As you can see, it keeps pulling it. It will fall into here, and we can see it like this. There we go. There's a stack of gold in there. As soon as one finishes, I believe there's another one that gets, no, everything actually falls into this. There we go. And everything was gonna pull out into this ground gold ore in here. Now obviously from here, it's gonna stay there until something else requests this. So I have this ground gold ore right here. I can come into the first one and just say, you know what, this one can be mixed with this mixer, so pull out everything that you can, and as you saw, it falls into that immediately and gets mixed it over there. As soon as the mixer finishes mixing it with this quicklime, it pushes into this and stops in this chest with the impure gold dust. Now I get one of those, and it's gonna be stopped there. And now I can go to another machine over here. I can use this one, but as you can see, it will start pretty much clogging the system, and it can get crazy if you have, especially if you have, like, you know, hundreds of ores in there, which can happen. So I'm gonna use this one over here, set to infinite. So as you can see, now they're starting to come in. Now this centrifuge is also working as well, and obviously it's gonna start to put out the pure gold dust, which is pretty much quadrupling the whole thing. Now from here, I can just go ahead and do this one over here. I can do another one. You know, depends on what type of system you want to do. So let's do that one right there, just for the giggles. And as you can see, it just fell down in there. And now this is working as well. Everything will be falling into this ender chest and obviously be pulled out into the system, and they will basically become eventually a red matter furnace. So this is how I set up for the gold, and as you can see, you just need one ingot. Now every single piece of gold that I put into the system would eventually be set up or into this thing. Now what about nether ore? Well, we'll deal with the nether stuff in a little bit, but let's go ahead and try to do iron now. Iron is gonna be a mess to make. You see, there's a ground ore, because they do fall into the system because all this netware is actually connected into the system. So if I keep ore like this and I keep refreshing, sometimes it would appear and it would disappear. And they would appear and disappear basically from every single part of the system. So right now the ores, yeah, we're still creating this. They will fall into this. They will be crafted over here. This ones also will fall into the system. I mean, everything just works fine. It works perfect. And since we don't use any of this stuff on the other side of the system, the only trouble that will happen is between this area and this back here. So all the ores that were falling into this backup chest, like all of this stuff in here, would eventually be just cleared out, and it will fall into the back part over here of the ore processing unit, and everything will be pretty much just set up in a nice way. So as you can see, we're still crafting those yelloriums, we're still crafting those golds, everything is cool. Now this is the only mixer that we have, and as you can see, we just have 6 stacks of 64, which means that eventually everything is gonna be clogged up, stopped in here, but on that time when that time comes, we will figure out things. But for now, I think we're just gonna go ahead and order one of these things. I'm gonna go ahead and do this with the, okay, we have 2 type of copper ore, so hopefully there's no problems to do this. We have another 2 types of tin, and there's some silver ore, and I think all this stuff can be quadrupled. If not, then we'll figure things out as we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to set it up with a few more things, and I'll come back and show you guys how did I set it up finally. And these ores, this is an extracting pipe. Well, basically it's a chassis pipe, but I'm gonna put an extractor module here, and whatever ores that have to go into the system, like let's say blue power. All right, so like this one, the zinc ore, this one has to fall into the system. I'm not sure if we can quadruple that one. I'm not sure if silver ore works, but yeah, I think there is the other one. What is it? Pig iron ore, which will give you steel. I'm not sure if I can quadruple those. If I can't quadruple those, then you know we'll figure it out a way to deal with them. Then uranium ore, obviously this needs to be compressed instead of anything else. So we'll figure those ones out as well. So let me go ahead and do it. I try to figure out how to just clear all this stuff in here, and show you guys once I'm done. Alright, so be right back. Alright, just a little bit of an update in here. I have, as you can see in the remote order, I grabbed all these ores, and as you can see, everything seems to be working okay. Ores are disappeared from here. Everything is set up in one of these things over here. I have a bunch set in here, galena, tungsten, all of this can be quadrupled. I have silver in there, and I have kind of single ones in here, iron, tin, both of the tins, both of the coppers, and this one's the yellorite, and the gold one up there. And as you can see, everything is working, everything is pulling out. They're falling into the system, and sometimes they get pulled like by thirds, like this one, 1, 2, 3. because basically they just like, there you go, they're working at kind of the same speed now. As you can see, this one is working on something in there. I can't tell really what it is that there's working, but I can see that there's 15. What is? I'm not even sure what that is. One, maybe iron ore. There are 15 waiting online to be placed in here. I'm not sure it's iron because it would be able to pull out the next one, so it could be copper or something else. So it's basically telling me this is the next one, and right now it's working on a stack or part of a stack. I think it was 10 or yeah, 10 is the one that is working right now. So next one will be this, and the stacks they keep a good speed, because this thing takes time, and by the time this is done with one, probably two or three will be already set up in here, the quick climb. So that is a pretty good thing. Still, we're getting a lot of income in here, but it will be fine. I mean, not every time I go mining, I get like hundreds and hundreds of ores. I get a bunch, but I don't get that many. That is, something impossible to do. So, all right, next thing is the stuff that is gonna be falling into this area right here. I basically just wanted to do you guys an update. So I just placed those ones there. They're falling into here because I have already set up this active supplier basically with all the ores. I may, yeah, no, yeah, I put everything out except for the sink one. The sink one is not being pulled out anywhere. So I'm gonna grab one of the sink ones and just show you how I'm doing it. So come over here, get to the active supplier, just place it right there. It's an infinite source, and they will start falling all the sink ones into this place right there. There we go. And then eventually they will fall into the system. As you can see, I pull out the next stack. It's working on those 15 something, and they will start pushing it out here. And I think they were iron. Some of these have like a byproduct. So anyway, the system is not moving anyone for now because it's pretty much in here. So I need to grab those and place them in some of this stuff to start working with this the centrifuge, and let them work with this impure dusts that we have over here. I'm still working with the gold ones. I'm still cooking them like this. So maybe we can set it up in here to be placed over here. Obviously I can go this way as well. I have two lines. I have 10, pretty much 10 furnaces, and it's pretty much the same thing: an extractor, the furnace, the machine output, and on the back I have the power inputs, just putting power into them. So I'm gonna continue this, and then I'll see you guys back with the update for the nether ones, because those are the probably pretty much one of the last ores that we have here. So I'll come back to check out on these nether ones. Some of these, like this nether emerald ore, pretty much have to be grinded and sent immediately. Maybe I think it gets grinded and gets it set up into, what is it called? There you go. So you macerate it and you get an emerald or emeralds like that. So this one immediately has to go straight from the macerator into this chest over here. So I need to make another little setup over here maybe, just to send macerator directly to this. Now, not all of the nether ores. Some of the nether ores, like where's it at? Let's say diamond. Diamond, either you can macerate it or you can smelt it to get just a normal ore. So you get two of them, and each of this, when you can use an extractor to get two, or you can grind it to get a two. I mean, it all depends what do you want to do with them. The ore ones gives you this dust if you use a macerator, but if you smelt it, you get the gold ore. So maybe I need to make like kind of like a smelting thing that will take it into the inventory. So these are furnaces, so I can probably set it up in here. Say like you see this nether gold ore. I'm just gonna grab one in here real quick. And then I'm gonna tell the system, you know what, when you get nether gold ore, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it into this bottom one. And I'm gonna tell the system, bring it into this. Now the nether gold ore should be pretty much making its way up to here somehow. There you go, we got one coming in, or actually the 8, because it will pull all the stack into this. Now this thing is cooking it. It will be falling into here, just the normal gold ores, and I haven't put the extractor module there. Alright, so they will fall into here, they will get cooked, they will get separated, and these provider logistics pipes connected into the system would actually basically send them all the way back into where they belong. Believe those were gold, so now you can see the gold production starts to work again. Now this was a little mistake. I by mistake, I was testing over here. I just pressed this cobblestone here trying to do a test, so it got grinded into sand. So don't mind that thing. There we go. Let's disappear that. And as you can see, the gold gets starting to pull out here. Now we're working with the ground gold ore that of the nether ores that we will have. So if by any chance we get some nether ore that is gold, it would get processed in that manner. So let's get some nether iron ore, and maybe something else that we can work on right away. What about this diamond ore? Let's see what we can do with this. Now there's the diamond ore. We will be needing to handle it a little bit different, but here you go, nether iron ore, which I'm sure is not going to be that much, so I'm just going to slap it in there and just let the thing do it itself. So it gets into here, it will get popped into the system as a normal ore, like an overworld ore, and these ones would get pulled out immediately and pretty much be sent back into the system again. They should be coming, there you go, and they will fall into here, which with all the rest of the iron ore. So everything that is from the nether ores, we should be able to process it. Now over here we got smelting and we got macerator. So either we grind them or we smelt them into these diamond ores. I like the idea of smelting this stuff. Diamond ore is actually a pretty fun thing to have. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here. Slap it in there. I know I'm not gonna get that many, but I kind of like the idea of just having in there. So I'm gonna just go ahead and just leave it there. Obviously still working on the iron stuff from before, but eventually it will actually start working on the diamonds as well. Alright, sorry. Back. A little bit of an accident there with this red morning stars. Be careful when you right click on these things. Yeah, I put it all back together, and here we go. So I put the diamond stuff in there. We got 2 diamond ores. Just for the giggles, I'm gonna save one somewhere else. Just you know, just as a reminder that I must manage to do this. Now I cannot pull it out of there without a silk touch, but it's okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. It's gonna be pretty in there. I don't mind it. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna overflow with diamond ore blocks, which would be cool, but I don't think I will. So next ones, and as you can see, there is one in the system already somehow, and this is because it's on this chest right here. So if I pull it out of this chest right here, and I go to place ore, as you can see, it's not here anymore. So whatever is in the chest, I can still see it. So we're all cool with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up a little more of this stuff, basically set up all this nether stuff, and there's only a few ores that I'm gonna be missing. I've never seen this tinatite ore, and I don't think there's even a way to actually get it. Yeah, there's no recipes for it. There's no recipes for this amber ore, the salt ore. I think they're just like part of the system. This rutile ore I have never seen. Ferrous ore, yeah, I've seen the ferrous ore. Pig iron, yes. Osmium, I've never seen osmium in here, at least in not this much. Look at that mithril. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and set up these ones. The only ones that I will be missing would be the poor ones, which will just give you ingots. Not ingots. They will give you what, nuggets, right? They will give you like little nuggets, and then you have to get 9 of those and to get just a normal ingot. So as you can see, everything is still working pretty fine. We're the next part will be getting out of here, putting it into the system, getting into here, and getting to the basically to the EMC machine over here, the little setup in here to craft more red matters. And hopefully by the end of this episode, maybe we're gonna be able to see one of these red matters already being processed. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here we are, and this is I have a couple of ores here that I just went to collect to the nether pretty quick, and I pretty much set up everything alright. So here we go. I put up like tungsten ore, crystallite, galena, pendelite, stuff that I don't have much, and I put it here. It will be pretty much grinded and put it into here. Everything goes into this thing. As you can see, it's actually filled up with most of the things that have stuff to be quadruple with the ores things. Now I went ahead and just grabbed this thing. I grabbed the power from the other side, put an MFSU here, and just put a line over here for the macerator because there is a couple of items like this one's over here, and the nether ruby ore, the nether emerald ore, and stuff like that. These ones are best when you use with macerator. The ruby or the emerald will actually give you more stuff when you use the macerator than when you just like pass it through to a grinder stuff. And also I added this thing over here is another grinder, and this is because the nether software ore, when you do it, I set it up over here on the back. Has a chassis mark 1 with basically an extractor, because when you do it, it will give you something. You have to pretty much grind it, and it will give you stuff that it doesn't have EMC or that cannot be processed over here, so it will like clog the system. So I had to put it in there, and over here there is something else actually working. There is the what is this thing called, the quartz ores, and yeah, they pretty much they don't have anything to do over here, so they will go directly to make some EMC down there. As you can see, this thing is just pulling out everything that is grabbing. Right now it's not, it has all this stuff in the inventory, but it will start eventually pulling it out. Now if I put all this stuff in here, eventually it will just like go straight up into the system. As you can see, they're starting to fall in there, everything where they should belong. And now this thing, I mean, it's trying as hard as it can, but it's going pretty slow. I have stacks and stacks. I got 42 stacks of the quick lime, but I still have like a lot of stacks that needs to be worked, like gold and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm sure that it can just behave right there and just, do its thing. You see, this thing goes all the way up here, gets pulled down to here, gets sucked into there, and so slowly but surely it will start getting up into here. Now I have this much in here, still not enough to make a one red matter furnace, but hey, look at this. This is 10 million EMC, so this means that I at least have 5 million already, so I would make already a couple of red matters or whatever. But yeah, I'll just leave it there, let it do its thing. And yeah, this is pretty much done. So next episode, we'll work on something else. And check this out. I have these better barrels that I just put in here, and now every single thing that I put on the blue power of this glass and this one will fall in there. Also, I added a couple of things on here. I added all the red alloy wires, pretty much all the colors, and then I added the freestanding ones, all the colors as well, and also the bundled cables in there. So those ones are gonna be super helpful later on. Also, I had to add all the wool, as you can see here. And now this is gonna be fun. Check this out. I made a little program. It's not hard. It's a little kind of cute thing. So I'm gonna delete all this stuff here. Well, not delete, but just pull it out. And I'm gonna grab this helper guy. I'm not pulling anything out. There we go. And I put basically all the wools and stuff in here. And then I realized, oh my god, I need to put all the signs in there. But I decided, what if instead of a sign, I'll put a wool just up here, just like that. But then I was like, oh my god, this thing is gonna take forever if I'm gonna be doing it one by one. So I put this turtle, And I made this little program one through do. If it's gonna suck up one item from the front, it's gonna try to place it up. If it can't do it, it will break and it will finish the loop. And if it can do it, it will just place it up and then continue to the right, turn right, go forward, turn left, and try to do the same thing again. So it's a pretty little simple program, but check what happens. So the turtle will just like grab one item out of the chest and just try to place it up, just like that. Isn't that cute? So it will just like go ahead and do it by itself, and I didn't need to like do everything manually, like getting all those items out of there and putting it out. This is why I love computer craft. It's just like you can just leave it there and let it do its thing. Now, okay, our processing unit is done. The next part will be big reactors doing the turbine because we need power. So I'm gonna leave that there, the redstone stuff for the YouTube subscribers in a little bit later on. But next part we need to do the big reactors and then do the big battery and maybe start working with some dentistry stuff, and the YouTube subscribers will be happening soon as well. You see, that thing is done. It couldn't pull anything out of here, so it actually just finished the program, and I'm just gonna leave it there. It's putting a cute little program in there. All right, so that's all for the updates for today. So I hope you guys like these two parts episodes, and let me know if you got any ideas or if you want me to do something else. And I got the comment that somebody wants to see a world download, and yeah, I'll definitely put the world download as soon as I get something more stable here, some good power, something that is just like ready for you guys to do. Now, even if I put the world download, the startup for this thing will be on the island that I start over here. So I'm gonna go ahead, do a little trip to the island later on and maybe another episode, and do like a teleporting thing. So it will be just set up for when somebody gets a world download, it will be able to teleport directly to this base if you wanna do that. So alright, this is all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.